Good day everybody. Today the second session for the city as an experience, we are going to look at sacred aspects of urbanism in Indian context, and is an important thing what the city constructs. Image of the city is what last session what we saw, where the form of the city, how it creates and generates experience is what we looked at. Now this session we look at sacred space of Indian urbanism, which is an important thing which is emerging and has been shaping our cities and forming experiences. We look at ghats as spaces of sacred experience. Shrines and streets and everyday practice and religious beliefs are some of the aspects which I will touch upon, and will try to explain and understand how this has structured and created an important realm of experience in a city life and shape and form of the city life. Sacred space of Indian urbanism is where we look at important aspects of ghat formation as an urban space concept, shrines and streetscapes which have developed and emerged. To look at, we need to understand that cities were built around religious practices and activities, and temple towns and cities like Banaras, Ujjain, Madurai, Amritsar, Mathura, if I have to talk about, have been important pilgrimage centers, and they have shaped and defined experience and also shaped elements of ghats, which is an important characteristics of Indian urbanism, is what I would look at. As we moved and evolved, the religious practices and activities are part of the new modern life and new urban space. So, both the traditions and history of our cities and civilization which have shaped urbanism in a certain sense, has also brought important things to modern life also, where tourism, religious activities, economy have shaped around these sacred concepts of our existence. So, religious activities and practices are also part of urbanism to me, and I think an important thing we need to look at for experience of a city. If you look at an important example of Banaras city, we can see that how the city is sitting next to the river, and is an important thing what we need to understand here is that our ritualistic concept of Hinduism, which allowed these particular practices, that river becomes an important engagement and relationship, where cities and complete settlements emerge around that particular story of our tradition and history. And you can see Banaras is also shaped along the river as an idea, as a concept, and hence develops an important realm of activities on a daily basis and events at a particular time of the year for performing some of the important rituals and activities. You can see the spaces, the ghat spaces, where it houses activities at a smaller scale. There are smaller shrines which developed to perform certain smaller rituals and activities, the steps where the people come to take their holy bath, platforms to perform certain rituals and activities at the level of family and rituals in terms of celebrating or remembering the past ones in a certain sense, and there are buildings which are basically housing some of the people who come there to stay. Important thing to understand here is that the city of Banaras is shaped around the concept where people come here to die. Is supposed to be the holiest thing and the ancient city in our history as a concept, and an important aspect of public life today, that even today people would like to go there to perform their last rites and rituals as an idea. Hence, the importance of this particular experience is part of my modern life today. You can see how these rituals are also taking shapes, and modern life also brings back people to perform these rituals on a daily basis in a place called Nasik on the ghats or Ujjain in a certain sense. So, these are important things for our existence, that even today the modern life also engages with this particular activity. So, cities are trying to enclose this particular religious aspect and religious practices as a particular experience and urban space. So, rituals are conducted where families come and perform these particular rituals and practices of rites or shaving heads when somebody is died. The last rituals are carried out on the ghats of this particular river, or people come there to remember their dead ones and perform the rituals annually as per their requirements as a part of the urban life. And hence you can see the important formation of these platforms and activities, where the religious priest would perform these rituals on a daily basis. People coming from all over India, it is not this particular city, it is a place where people are coming from long distances, and hence the significance of places like this, that a city becomes an important place for the whole country or the whole world, and that is how Banaras is being recognized and remembered as an idea. It also becomes an important event for recreation also on a everyday basis. Today tourism has become an important thing, people travel. So, tourism and religious pilgrimage come together and they form an important phenomenon activity. So, people are traveling all round from the year, and you can see in this particular slide how this edge is shaped and structured for that particular ritual and activity. So, it is an important urban space which is emerging, and hence cities have moved to basically focus on those things. So, India represents an example where these cities are also important to us. They are major economies, they are major activities, and lakhs of people actually converge on this particular urban space as an important aspect of their life and existence. You can see this in another example, the Ghats of Nasik, which is another religious sacred space, is something what this image shows us. Even mobility has changed this particular phenomena, and you can see in this particular image number of vehicles which are coming down right next to the banks of the river, where people are supposed to be performing their ritual activities, for which they have traveled all the way from long distances to perform this activity. So, the sacred river actually becomes an important thing, urban space of experience. So, religiosity and traditions and activities are actually emerging as an important thing. So, the edge of the river is occupied by the buildings and activities and land uses responding to this particular activity and phenomenon, and hence an important aspect of urban form and space which is emerging in many of these cities as a question. You can see the god becomes bigger than the human being, and they are important elements, and color and other activities. So, the urban space is structured around this particular concept of our practices and beliefs and traditions, where kinds of gods and deities for which people come down to this particular space to perform these rituals are important elements of shaping the landscape in a certain sense, and hence a particular scale of activity which emerges in a certain sense. Another example which I would like to talk here, and here I would like to say that mythological structure of our existence and beliefs is also shaping the idea of city and urban space, and Pushkar is another example where a holy lake which emerges from the mythology actually becomes a source or root of shaping and creating experience, activity, religiosity, and a complete city by itself, and tourism, which is what this particular example. It is basically springing from this concept of Pushkar, which means a blue lotus flower, and this is actually older than Mahabharata and Ramayana as far mythology goes, and hence an important pilgrimage center. It has also become important for tourism for the world, because Indian history and Hinduism has attracted many tourists and foreigners to come and understand this particular idea of existence, and hence Pushkar and many other historical traditional places have become tourist spots, and hence an important economy and activity. So, basically religion and tourism and economy and urban development come together as an important question, and hence we need to understand this phenomena to understand how I can discuss and define experience of a city, and hence the form of a city in a certain sense. It is a place of religiosity, where again the concept of ghat is being created and defined, and architecture of that particular aspect has been developed. It is also talking about a parikrama, which is the procession which moves around the lake as a holy practice, and it is actually having a important temple of Brahma here, which is the important aspect of this particular formation as an urban plan. And it has several ghats, it has many temples, about 500 temples which lined up around this edge, and it has 52 ghats which you can see in this particular image. These edge is a continuous line of ghats which are separate spaces of activities with their individual temples and shrines, and residential spaces. So, it is a complete city of that religious practice which is basically emerged as a concept, as an idea, and hence an important aspect of experience of urbanism, which is what I would like to emphasize and underline, that as much as the urban aspect of economy and existence of work and production, it is also a parallel phenomena which has emerged in our context of historicity, religiosity, and a concept of urban space which is a sacred urban space, and hence it is an important economic activity which is growing and becoming bigger and bigger as we move further as in time today. And we need to look at those ideas and pressures and need to respond to those things in a certain way. You can see here how this edge is a beautiful architectural expression of urban formation, where the open space with steps and ghats which bring a lot of people to perform those activities, and there are institutional spaces, that small temples and shrines, and residential spaces which are the ashrams where people come and stay for few days to perform those rituals. So, it is a city which engages into everyday life structure, that people from the city come to perform the activities, as well as people come from long distances who have traveled from cities across the country, come here, stay here and perform the rituals on a particular day and then go back to their city. So, it is an interesting phenomena where this mythology, religion, religious practices and traditions construct this important form, where urban space, the city form, and economic activity and tourism come together to as an important spectacle of urbanism. And that is where I think it is an important aspect of experientiality of a city, where religion has triggered and played an important role to shape urbanism in our context. Going further down to another example is another city where again it emerges from the mythological beliefs of formation and roots, where the Shiva temple is basically located here, and it is a holy spot where millions of peoples round the year, every day and on particular events converge here to perform that holy ritual of taking the bath and purifying themselves in a certain sense. And it is here I would like to bring another question, where mythology creates this significance of space which becomes very sacred and hence important to existence of Hindu philosophy in a certain sense. And that is where Ujjain is also one of the centers of the many centers the country has defined in terms of tradition and Hinduism, that it becomes a place where every 12 years it is a conversion of the whole of the Hindu fraternity to perform the holy ritual, which is the Kumbh Mela, which is a mega event of a certain kind which brings people in a certain sense. And it is also an example of a urban formation which I would like to explain, is that this city which you can see in this along the river was actually in historically a place where people actually came to perform rituals and went back to their settlements in a certain sense. Over a period in history, this activity became regularized and became important, and had grown into significance, that it started emerging as a permanent activity on an everyday basis, and that is where certain sets of people started settling and becoming who performed the rituals and pujas for the people who came from all over the country, resulted into formation of a permanent city, which is what the plan you see here in this particular image. In the plan you can see here that this whole city has developed around that particular temple and the spot, the holy spot where you come take the holy bath. So, a city has emerged again from that mythological activity and significance of existence to a complete city by itself, and now it is a normal city which actually caters to this religious activity only, and that is why Ujjain becomes and emerge as an important aspect of urbanism. And even the urban space, what you can see is an important activity where individual family, a single human being, or a congregation of large city population, or people from all over the country converge for that event, can actually perform the rituals of a holy bath and other practices. So, that is where the space becomes an important vibrant aspect of formation in a certain sense, and that is why Ghat is an important urban activity, an important urban space to be understood and studied, where this particular significance of existence and experience can be understood. Looking at this image, one can see that it is an important scale of activity. Looks on one hand that it becomes a very silent space where one can sit and perform the rituals and practices individually and meditate for a moment also in a certain sense. At the same time, the same space can become dynamic and vibrant for millions and lakhs of people who can converge and perform the same activity of holy bath and purification in a certain sense. So, it is an important concept of urban space where both aspects of silence and quietness, which is required for the holy purpose of ritualistic activity, at the same time a mass crowd can also converge to perform in that same space in a certain way. It is an interesting architectural example where the smaller steps, the smaller shrines which are there in the front and the bigger buildings at the back, which forms the stronger edge as an idea, as a concept. So, it adds variations, it has permanency of a certain kind, it has richness of architecture in a certain sense, and hence it is an important urban space, and it is an interesting thing architecturally and urbanistically I need to look at to understand this particular concept of urban experience. Another example in the north of India, which is also again springing from mythology and emerging as a city by itself. So, one can see this is the lake in the center, which is basically the Golden Temple complex. It was basically a pond next to which Guru Gobind Singh sat and wrote the holy text, which has become the important Bible for that particular community, and that is where it became significant and important, and the activity became bigger and bigger, and hence a complete city emerged around that particular formation, which is a mythological aspect. And that is where the religious activity, the mythology again allows to build a complete city, idea of urban space, concept of experience and existence in this particular part of the world. That is why you can see a strong definition of the space is emerged architecturally. The central temple where the holy text is kept, where people converge to offer their prayers, and the water body again for purification as a practice. So, again one can see how nature, water body, temple, religiosity, mythology has allowed an urban formation, and even today Amritsar, the Golden Temple, also becomes an important factor for tourism, and it is bringing not only the people from the country to perform the ritual also, but also to come and engage and experience this important aspect of history which was created as a question, and even the world tourists also come here. It is also telling us how architecture has come to support that beautiful formation of urban activity. So, the buildings have been designed with and constructed with grandeur to define and celebrate that particular formation. So, the architecture, urban design and city planning actually comes together in this particular example to define that sacred aspect and sacred traditions of our history, where city, urban space and experience is understood as a question. The same question actually has moved into modern life and has taken new forms and ideas, because religiosity, human existence and connection to God and relationship with God is an important phenomenon, and you can see that even in the modern life today, that we want to get connected to this religiosity in many forms, and hence if we can't go to these main temples and big places on an everyday basis, that activity actually comes to your streetscapes in a certain sense, and you can see that in this images. What you can see that actually God starts and the temples and shrines takes different forms, and they become smaller size and happen at regular places, because you want to constantly engage with that activity on a daily basis. So, you actually begin your day performing that puja and engagement with the God on an everyday basis. So, it starts happening and taking shapes in the streets in these particular aspects. You can see many forms have emerged, and you can see those formation in this particular image. So, the tree, also another important aspect of Hinduism, is respecting and responding and connecting to the natural elements of our existence and resources, and that is an important aspect of Hinduism, which is what to me is a very important model of sustainability actually, which was defined that we exist with nature, we need to respect nature, we need to protect nature. So, Hinduism had defined that particular aspect in a certain sense, and that is where you can see in this particular image an example where a peepal tree becomes an important sacred element, and it creates a sacred space for everyday activity which people come there to perform those rituals in a certain sense. So, this is a very important aspect of sacred concepts what Indian urbanism talks about, and this is where I would like to conclude that the Indian history and urbanism actually brings an interesting concept of urbanism through these examples of cities which were formed around religiosity, concepts of sacredness, and complete city and urban space and activity actually emerged to define this particular phenomena, and hence an important aspect of experience of city and urbanism, which I think we need to look at and understand as we shape our cities, create and construct our cities and urban spaces in our context. Thank you.